Welcome to The Soft Life with Megan and Chrystal. Your show redefining success one soft, abundant choice at a time.
And if you like our work, please support us at ko-fi.com/softlifenyc.
So today we have a guest, Dr. Mamina Turegano, a triple board certified dermatologist. She is amazing and she's going to give us all of the incredible skin tips.
But before we get there, I just have to say, I first met Mamina when we were both babies, way over a decade ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago, which is terrifying because you look exactly the same. Yes. We met at a dance class that I used to co-run with a friend of mine. And this lady walked in and I was like, she's bloody amazing. She's gorgeous. She's so cool, down to earth. And I was like, I have to be her friend because I'm kind of like that when you spot like amazing women.
Yeah.
And then we just like connected from there when I was working in DC, you working in DC. And then now we're both back in the same country again. It's so good to see you, Mamina.
Oh my gosh, so good to see you too. And I have so many fond memories. I loved just dancing my heart out. It was with that dance group. And I also just really loved hanging out with you and the genuine connection that we had. So I really appreciate us meeting again through this podcast. I'm so grateful to be here.
Totally. And it's so good to see your like journey. And I'm so happy for everything that you've achieved. Straight to work stuff here. Dermatology. Why dermatology? I know that the skin is the biggest organ that we have, which is like such a cool, interesting fact. I think I only found that out like the other day. But why skin? Why are you interested in that?
You know, I initially wasn't. I was more interested in primary care when I was in medical school, and that was the plan. But I also have a huge passion in taking a holistic approach to overall health and integrative medicine, looking at the full body when it comes to treating specific ailments. And when I was doing my rheumatology rotation, which is a subspecialty of internal medicine, it looks at autoimmune diseases. There were a lot of autoimmune skin disease patients that I was evaluating. And I really was drawn to these patients. First of all, I had so much compassion. There is just so much distress when you see your skin, because you can physically see, like you could see the inflammation actively happening. Whereas if you have high blood pressure, you can't really see it.
Right.
And so I had so much compassion and empathy for these patients. And also it kind of aligns with this taking a more holistic approach. I think the skin can say so much about what's going on internally. And I was really drawn to that too. And then when I did my dermatology rotation, there were so many aspects of dermatology I loved. You could see both adults and pediatric population. There's a little bit of surgery. I wasn't a big fan of being in the operating room, but I loved like minor procedures. And there's complex medical derm, and then there's like fun cosmetic stuff. It covered a wide variety of medicine, like infectious disease, autoimmune disease, and, you know, just skin cancer screenings. So I loved the variety and everything that stood for.
Oh, cool. Well, we have so many questions for you because, skin, right?
Like on me.
Everyone is so interested in skin. Yeah. I love your holistic approach too. That it just sounds so right, obviously. But, okay. First question, I think, is how much of your skin looking great and being healthy is skincare versus sleep and like eating nourishing food?
Yeah. I think that this can vary from person to person and your genetics, because there are so many potential variables. But and it's funny, I think dermatologists may also differ in their view and opinion on this, but I do think that the majority of your skin health is related to how well you take care of yourself internally. Like you mentioned, your sleep, your diet, your mindset. Don't get me wrong, skincare does so much, and very, very grateful for it. But I think it's just one fraction of the overall approach to having healthy skin.
Okay.
So as you know, this podcast is called The Soft Life, and it's about really for us, like reassessing like taking a breather, right? What is actually really important to you, like truly important to you? What kind of like nourishes you? And I want to ask you, was there a moment in your life where you really had to reassess that and like reorder things and it's worked out well for you? Or even if it hasn't worked out well, that's not necessarily the end goal, but like you've come closer to what really matters. when you think about the soft life, that could be, you know, we're also thinking about low stress. We're also thinking about doing things that are really important for you to do, like saying no, you know, things that really center yourself and what's going to make your life more abundant.
Yeah. And I love this too, because I think when we're, especially as career people, we're so just in it. And sometimes we can just have blinders on and really just have our nose to the grind and just focus on like the day-to-day necessities or the day-to-day like obligations. And, you know, even like just seeing patients, it just felt like I was just trying to survive. In conventional medicine practice, it's kind of an unfortunate model where you're seeing so many patients and you don't have enough time to really dig deep and to give the optimal care, at least for me. And as I've noticed, I've been in private practice for almost 12 years now. And what I've noticed to be such an important factor to not just with seeing patients, but just in my overall life is just connections with people. Yeah. Connections, my relationships with my patients. Of course, like I want to treat them well and make sure that they get the right care. But what I've come to really learn is that healing starts that right connection with the patient. When the patient feels that they're in the right hands, when they're in good hands, when they can trust you. And I've had all these relationships blossom with patients, and it almost feels like I'm just hanging out with friends now when I see these patients. It makes my day so much better. And it helps me realign my perspective on, okay, like there's all these administrative things and tasks and, like I said, prescriptions and everything. I have to make sure I'm making the right diagnoses. But I think that the foundation of having strong connections, really positive relationships is so important. And then that also plays into life outside of being a physician, the connections in my life, whether it's, most importantly with my family, with my husband, with my son,
right.
And the connections with my friends. I think ultimately that is what gives meaning to my life.
Yeah. So that reconnection for you and really focusing on that has made you better at what you're doing. So recentering the relationships.
Definitely.
Also, skincare is such a big part of like my soft life. Totally. Like taking care of yourself and your skin, and it's like a moment to pause. And it's just part of this living a softer.
It's such a huge part.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of self-care. You're giving yourself time. It's like you're giving yourself a moment to pause in your day to really take care of your skin. And I did participate in a study that showed that the act of putting on skincare was beneficial for your mental health.
Oh, that's so interesting.
So there's something to it.
Okay. And more skincare questions for you. Cause oh my God, we want your skin. Look at your skin.
Exactly. We need to do it kind of like quick. Let's do a kind of quick fire. Let's do quick fire skincare questions.
Okay. Dr. Mamina, what are one or two active skincare ingredients that just like make your skin look better that people should look for in formulas and serums and oils and ingredients?
Well, I do have to preface this by saying that if you're not using a product with SPF, everything else kind of becomes irrelevant because it's just like one step forward, one step back. So in a skincare regimen, it's always important to make sure that you're protecting your skin because any kind of sun damage will put a stress on your skin, can alter your DNA, and then like that accelerates aging and other things we don't like, dark spots, all those things.
Every day.
But
SPF.
Every day, just make it part of a habit of your skincare routine. And then in terms of ingredients in the morning, I think it's important to incorporate some type of antioxidant ingredient. Vitamin C is the most well-studied. This works in conjunction with sunscreen to further protect your skin, as well as working on the collagen level to rebuild collagen and then like renewing your skin, like evening out your skin tone, brightening your skin. And then at night, some kind of retinoid. So retinoids are just the overarching umbrella term for vitamin A derivatives. The most common form that we see over the counter are retinols. Then prescription is tretinoin or brand name is Retin-A. But some type of retinoid is also really important and probably the second most well-studied ingredient after sunscreen when it comes to building collagen, firming the skin, improving skin radiance, and evening out skin tone.
Okay.
I want to ask about Korean skincare. I've heard about it so much. I know people could talk about this forever, but just like briefly, is it worth it?
Yeah, well, the beauty of a lot of K-beauty is that it's very affordable. So it's worth definitely experimenting with. But the concept of K-beauty that I really do appreciate is that a lot of the products are really focused on hydrating and nourishing the skin. I talked about retinoids, but in a lot of skincare, there's also exfoliating ingredients. We have to be careful. These things can be very irritating to the skin, these exfoliants, retinoids. And what I do appreciate with K-beauty is that a lot of the products are gentle, yet have these potent activities to nourish and firm the skin. So yeah, and there's a lot, it's brought in the whole concept of PDRN, which is the salmon DNA that we're seeing a lot going into Western skincare. Snail mucin was like a big thing a few years ago, and that's still very popular hydrating ingredient in K-beauty. But I think K-beauty is definitely worth exploring. There's some great brands out there.
Okay, thank you.
What are exosomes? I'm seeing them everywhere. How do they work? And are they the skin miracles that people are saying they are?
Yeah, exosomes are definitely getting a lot of press. So basically, exosomes are like almost little packages. They're little vesicles, essentially, that are packed with a bunch of different goodies, whether they're growth factors, peptides, other proteins that can send signals to your skin to do wonderful, amazing things, whether it's building collagen or hydrating your skin more. And there's definitely a lot of promise with exosomes. We know that they work, like they do wonderful things for the skin. The problem with exosomes is how they're packaged and manufactured, because they're not really sustainable at room temperature. So it's a little bit questionable with some of these over-the-counter ingredients with exosomes, at least with human exosomes. So there's a lot of products now trending with plant-based exosomes, and people have differing opinions on whether or not those are effective, because they're like, plant exosomes don't work the same on humans as human exosomes. But I think human exosomes aren't really possible to keep at room temperature. Now, there's a couple brands say that they have the technology that keep them active at room temperature. But it's still up for debate. There's scientists who say, no, that's not the case. Short answer is that they do have a lot of wonderful, like anti-aging, skin nourishing, skin firming qualities. And you can also get them in some offices. It's still not FDA approved. So you have to also take that with a grain of salt. But offices have them frozen, like they're frozen. So those are like more legit.
Okay.
And I want to talk about accessibility as well. All three of us here, and we've talked about it before, we didn't grow up with a lot of money. What few products would you recommend that low cost that everyone should have in their homes?
So for a basic skincare routine, you don't have to spend a lot of money. A cleanser, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen is the foundation of every skincare routine. And there's amazing moisturizers that you can get over the counter at the drugstore that we love. And I'll just like list off a couple brands because I'm not like married to any specific brand, but CeraVe, La Roche-Posay, Cetaphil, Eucerin, Vanicream, Neutrogena, they make wonderful and safe and effective products that do all those things. So it's a matter of what your skin type is in terms of like which cleanser and moisturizer are best for you. When it comes to antioxidants like vitamin C serum, I do think that it's worth splurging, but there's definitely some great ones over the counter. My favorite one is like the Vichy vitamin C serum. La Roche-Posay makes a great one as well. And then there's some great affordable retinols as well from the drugstore. The brand Rock, I think, is wonderful when it comes to retinoid technology. And it's spelled ROC. Neutrogena has great ones.
Great.
And La Roche-Posay, like Adapalene, like Differin gel, that used to be a prescription. And La Roche-Posay has one, Differin has one. And so, yeah, you can get that over the counter for a pretty affordable price.
Dr. Mamina, what is your take as a dermatologist, as a woman, as a human on wrinkles? Like when it comes to yourself and wrinkles? I mean, like, we all want smooth, firm skin, but like, are you like, no wrinkles? Or how do you think about wrinkles yourself?
I love this question because in a way, wrinkles are kind of a badge of honor too. It shows the wisdom, the experience that you've had in your life. And so my approach, because I do mostly medical dermatology, but of course I do cosmetic dermatology, and I never push cosmetic procedures or anti-aging products on patients because it's ultimately a matter of how comfortable somebody feels in their own skin. Some people love their wrinkles and embrace it, and I think that's awesome. If you're happy with it, if it makes you feel great to show off your wrinkles, I'm all about it. If you're wanting, if you feel like your inside does not match your outside and you want help working on smoothing your skin more to feel like you're in alignment with who you feel mentally, then I'm here to help you. Like, let's optimize your skincare. I have recommendations for procedures. And then, some people also feel like there's a lot of pressure in society to have a smooth face and to look a certain way. And what I don't like is when it affects people's like mental health, or if it affects their, like if it causes more insecurity. I want people to know that like ultimate beauty does not come from what's on the outside. Like so much beauty can radiate from how you are internally. And it probably sounds so cliche.
No, it's true. You do radiate.
You can really radiate that. And same with confidence too. So I think that, yeah, it's more like a fun thing. If it's something you want to work, if you want to work on wrinkles, yeah, we could work on that. But don't feel like pressure that's what you need to get rid of to look beautiful.
I love what you said about if you don't think your inside matches your outside. That's such a good way of saying it.
Definitely.
Like if you're,
I have a lot of patients in their like 50s and 60s. They're like, I don't feel like I'm supposed to look like this doesn't match how I am inside. Like I feel so much younger.
Right.
I'm just trying to help people feel more comfortable with themselves.
Okay. Can I ask two quick questions in one? So firstly, tell us about the product that you're developing that's like sort of out there. We would love to learn about that. But also a really quick cheeky one for myself. I have started to develop dark spots. Any tips on that?
I love you sneaking that in there.
That's a whole topic. But yes, in terms of the product, well, two other derm colleagues and I just launched a teledermatology platform for people to have more available access to prescription skincare, because we are seeing that, and even just guidance from a dermatologist, because there's just so much noise out there. People are like, I don't even know how to get started. Like, what's a basic skincare regimen? I know I've heard so much about tretinoin for wrinkles. And so it's just an easier way for people to have access to prescription medicine if they like that. It is called DermClick. And we're officially launching December 15th. So there's that. When it comes to dark spots, that is, let me tell you, a very popular question. And it's up there with acne and hair loss. And with dark spots, it can be from a couple of different things. And the more melanated your skin is, the higher risk you are with getting dark spots, because you just have more melanin in your skin. So any kind of insult, inflammation, you have a higher risk of having like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation or these post-inflammatory dark spots. And so, like I mentioned earlier, the most important thing to do if you're dealing with dark spots is to use SPF, because the sun loves to accentuate the dark spots. It activates your melanin. So it's like, so that's the most important step.
Thank you.
And we talked about a vitamin C and a retinoid, but there are a bunch of wonderful ingredients out there that can target decreasing the melanin release, decreasing melanin production. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of products, but ingredients to look for are things like tranexamic acid, kojic acid, alpha-arbutin, L-cysteamine, niacinamide, azelaic acid, licorice root, soy, the resorcinols like hexylresorcinol, phenylethyl resorcinol. And yes, so there's a lot out there. And then there's
what
also
a dictionary you have there in your brain. Thank you so much.
Let me tell you, there's a lot. But you could always, yes. And then like a dermatologist can definitely, the prescriptions honestly, I have to say, work the best.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Are there any skin trends that you just are like, think are bananas, like, face tape? And what do you think of certain, are there trends that just make you cringe?
Yeah, beef. Yes. I love this. The beef tallow trend really does make me cringe, because for multiple reasons. It's so comedogenic, meaning that it can clog your pores and cause acne. And then also it's just not like preserved properly, and it can get rancid and smell weird. So oftentimes it's masked with like essential oils, and essential oils can be fine for many people, but it can also, we've seen like people react so much and get contact dermatitis from a variety of different essential oils. And yeah, so not a fan of the beef tallow trend.
And finally, Soft Life Challenge. At the end of every episode, we set a Soft Life Challenge. Is there a Soft Life Challenge that you would give to our viewers and listeners out there? And us, probably.
Yeah, this may also sound cliche and overstated, but I think that people underestimate the importance of pausing and breathing and noticing your breath, because that plays such a huge role with everything else in your body, whether it's your stress, your like actual function of your organs. And so I am a huge fan of breath work. And like, if I feel overwhelmed, just even stopping and taking a deep breath. It sounds so simple, but it's huge. And just paying attention to your breath. And when people also ask about like meditation, like how do you get started? Like, don't even worry about that. Just like, just pay attention to your breath.
Dr. Mamina, thank you so much for being on the Soft Life.
You were great. Thank you so much
for having me. Oh my gosh, loved being on here. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for listening to The Soft Life of Chrystal and Megan. If you like our work, please support us at ko-fi.com/softlifenyc. Hosting and executive production by me, Crystal Genesis, and Megan O'Neill. Filming by Connor Kafia Chain at my friend's basement studio. Editing by Rob Ashkenos, and music by 4S Studios. Don't forget to subscribe and review our podcast on all podcasting apps and on YouTube at Soft Life NYC. See you soon.